Yep, double majored in art and design, industrial design. I've always had, I loved painting growing up, always have loved just creating things. Didn't know exactly how I wanted to use that. So a double major made sense because it sort of itched two parts of kind of who I think I am as an artist and designer. You know, I definitely have a very split role. I do a lot of artwork, a lot of concepts, a lot of design work, but I actually also do a lot of management and supervising, scheduling, working in teams. So it's very much, I'm wearing two hats often. One of a strictly creative role, and then also one of more of a management role. And that's one of the cool things I felt that I had at the art and design and industrial design, is that it was, for me, and everyone has their own track that they want to go to. I have friends that are fine artists and they love what they're doing, and that's awesome. Everyone needs to go towards the direction they feel like is the best for them. But for me, I loved the double major because it gave me the exposure to an extreme of, I'm just going to make whatever I want. I'm going to paint this thing. I'm going to sculpt this thing, and it's going to be weird. It's going to be crazy. I don't really care what anyone thinks about it. And the other half of that is, oh, now I'm designing a product that someone has to use, and I have to follow these guidelines, and it has to be somewhat structured. I've liked both of those. And so I've been sort of able to bring those together here in an effective way, surprisingly, to where there's actually a job that you need, you know, this sort of extreme level of creativity, to where you're kind of throwing out ideas and problem solving and doing paintings yourself, and also sort of an extreme level of budgets and scheduling and clients and dealing with all that kind of stuff. So it's those two different worlds that I like to sit right in the middle of those. It is a broad range, and it's funny though, it's broad, but it still focuses on the fundamentals, which that to me is the most important thing. Those are extremely important and will basically, I feel like, set a ceiling on how far you can go with your craft or your trade. If you have a good sense of those basics and a good solid foundation, I think the sky's really the limit. But if you miss that part and you go right to the nuts and bolts of how I'm going to do things, I think you hit a wall or a ceiling of, okay, I can do this, but for some reason I'm not able to creatively push things farther. It's because you did sort of the lack of that fundamental. So I would say definitely spend those first 2 years focusing on the fundamentals. You know, as we hire, and I'm involved in a lot of hiring, we are very interested in just the fundamental skills someone brings to the table. Like, we're heavily into computers, but I'd love to see your drawings, you know. I'd love to see, you know, your paintings. And are they good drawings and paintings? And if they are, that person can probably do a lot of other things, you know, really well, because they've obviously are able to channel their passion to what they're doing, and sort of, they sort of have an eye for, I guess, excellence and sort of wanting what they're doing, whether that be, you know, painting or sculpture or animation or, you know, visual effects or fashion, but wanting whatever that is to be excellent because it represents them, and to put as much of themselves into that as possible. And I think that common thread you can see in people, even when you're in college, you can see, you know, people who are really passionate about what they're doing, and you just have a feeling that, okay, whatever the direction that person goes is going to be fine.